Let's look at how we can use some PowerPoint features to make our animation sensation characters look even better. And the animation sensation characters were created on a white background. So if you put them on a dark background, there's a couple of problems. One, you see this jagged edge around the character, which will appear on a black background or any dark background. And they look perfect over here on the white background. Another issue is anything that's black, like these musical notes here, just won't appear on a black background. But this is pretty easy to take care of. And we're just going to add a glow to the character. So double click on the character, and you want to come up to Format, then come to Picture Effects, and you'll see sidebar's already appeared, but in case it doesn't, come to Picture Effects, go to Glow, and Glow Options, and we will get this side panel here. Now, since we have these jagged edges are in white, we want to just choose white. Other colors generally won't work too well. So come to Select Color and select white, and you can see we put a glow around this. And the size of the glow can be determined here. I like to use between 8 and 10 points, which is about right. And now let's play the character, and you can see how good this looks. Now another option is maybe we want to, we're working with a white background or a light background, and the shadow effect will work pretty well on a white background. So again, if this sidebar isn't open, just double click on the image, go to Format, and go to Picture Effects, glow options. But there are more options here, such as shadow, and we can set a shadow here. I'm just going to use a default. You'll see it's added a bit of a shadow, and you can increase the size of the shadow with this button, and you'll see again some of the ragged edges are appearing when we use the shadow. That's okay, we'll just go and we'll add a glow to this. See, I hit the wrong button, and let's go here, and what this will do is give the image a little shadow and a cutout effect, a little 3D effect here by using the two. Now let me remove the shadow and remove the glow, and we have this image here, and we can see how this plays. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to remove this white background, and we can see the difference now between using the glow on the right and no glow effect on the left. Here's a couple of real simple animation tricks you can use in PowerPoint to add even more life and movement to your animation sensation characters. And in this first slide, I have two similar Buddha running animations. And you'll see the one on the left keeps going, and the one on the right, he has a stop motion included. So now let's take the second slide, and in this slide is the one with Buddha. He's going to keep running, and let's add a real simple animation to that. So just click on Animations, and we're going to use the fly in animation. But we want it to come, right now it's coming from the bottom to the top. Let's get it to come from the right. And he sprints across the screen. However, let's have him sprint completely off the screen. So we're going to move him off screen. And you can see this box here is the screen, and this box here, and anything outside won't appear in the picture. This movement is probably a little too fast. We want to click on him, and let's come up here. Let's set this to with previous, and let's set the duration to about 3 seconds and see. It's a little slow for my tastes, but so let's by reducing the time, we speed up this animation. And let's slow down even more. Double click. If the animation disappears, just click on Animations again, and let's slow it down a little more. And you might use an animation like this to tell somebody to hurry up and click your subscribe button link, or hurry to click the link to get the deal before it expires, that type of thing. Anything to suggest that somebody should be in a hurry. And in this slide, I've included the Buddha that has the sprint and the stop action animation. And basically we're going to use the same fly in animation here, and I've already included it, and it'll be with previous. And for this one I'm using a slower duration speed, or I should say a longer duration speed, which will make the animation itself slower. So let's click on it and look how it is. And Buddha comes in, then he goes into a stop motion and stops. And you can play around with this figure here for the duration to get the best effect. Now if you have too short of a time, what'll happen is it won't quite time up with what Buddha's doing. So you just play around with that. So he comes to the spot and then he's running in place, which isn't really what we want. So let's increase this a few seconds, about 4.5 seconds, and this is the effect we'll get. And that's it. This is a way to add some simple animations to your characters, and this is pretty easy to. Another option here would be here to click on it and flip Buddha and come over to the animations, and then just reverse the direction he's running, and you can get the same effect from the opposite direction. Here's a little trick we can use to swap out our animation sensation characters to give even more creativity and options for using them in our videos. Now I've created a real simple animation here, and this text is animated and it's going to bounce in, and then Buddha will appear and he'll do a sprint and stop motion. And let's take a look at it here. And here's the text bouncing in, and here comes Buddha. And what I want to do is swap this Buddha animation out with another animation of Buddha to give it a little more life and variety here. So what I'm going to do is click on the slide and then right click on it and go to duplicate slide. Now when we transition from one to the other, I want to swap out a Buddha image here. But remember, in the first slide I've animated this text, and then in the second slide when I duplicate the slide, the animations are also duplicated. So I want to remove that, because when they transition, I want the new Buddha character to appear as seamlessly as possible. I don't want this animation to replay. So click on the second slide here, and if this animation pane isn't open, click on the animation button at the top, and then you'll see this animation pane button here, and that'll open and close. Make sure the animation pane is here, and you'll want to select the right animation from the slide to remove it. And I have two animations. I have the text animation, and then I have the Buddha fly in where he goes across the screen. And the easy way to tell them apart, and this can be complicated because these names here can be really vague, just click on the animation and it'll highlight in the animation pane. As you can see, when I click on Buddha, picture 4 becomes highlighted, and you'll see the text box becomes highlighted when I click on it. And just come to this drop down arrow and click remove, and that just, again, this just removes the animation, the fly in, the bounce animation for the text effect. It doesn't remove the text itself. So when I transition, we just have static text, which is what we want in this instance. Now the next thing I want to do is swap out this character. I want to insert the next character, and I'm going to go for Buddha wave loop, which is this animation here. And I like to keep the original animation for a minute or two because it allows me to help line up the second character. Sometimes getting to the second animation here, with these two I can do it pretty easily, but sometimes you'll have trouble selecting it, so you might right click on the top one, send it to back, and that brings the original Buddha image to the top, so you can click on it and just delete it. Now what you'll notice here is he is standing behind the text. Now in the first slide, if I played this through, Buddha is above the text, not below it. So I want to make sure those layers are consistent. And since he was above the text in the previous slide, I want him to be above the text in this slide. So I'll just right click on him, and I'll bring to front, so you can see how now he appears above the text. And this will give us an animation similar to this, and let me play the whole thing for you. Here's our text bouncing in, and our Buddha, and you'll see it flip through pretty seamlessly. Thanks, and see you in the next video. Bye.